Okay, 1, 2, 3, price and quantity, please. I've got eight, I've got eight for both. All right. This is a positive externality. I know that because we're going from, this should be private value to social value. This could be marginal social cost and marginal private. So the market is 8 and 8. The optimal would be 10 and 10. Okay. If I took this line straight up, that would be the external benefits. And I just want to, so demand here would be marginal private benefits or marginal private value. I think that's how it would be marked on the test. And supply would be marginal social cost. Okay, like that. All right. I think like a question like this will definitely be on the test. They'll just have different numbers, but the same thing. And I'm going to just do this. I don't know, do we have a question like this? So they could also ask for the external benefit, and it's 8. So the external benefit would be 12 minus 8, which would be 4. Okay, so I could see them asking something like that also. Okay, give someone about 30 seconds here before you type in your answer. What should the tax be to reach optimal? Okay, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 2, right? Because the external cost is how much should be taxed. All right, I'm going to give everyone, like, again, 30 seconds. What is the marginal social cost for the second unit? What is the marginal social cost for the second unit? Give everyone like 30 seconds to think about it. Marginal social cost for the second unit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What do we have? Okay, we've got third. Nice, good job. Right, the marginal social cost is the private cost plus the external cost. Okay, good job on that. All right, the Coase theorem. I just wanted to remind you, the Coase theorem is like me and Braden negotiating. You know, if he has $250 benefit and I have $500 benefit, somewhere between 250 and 500 will be what we agree on. And okay, so that's that. I also just want to remind you that the antitrust laws, because with one class, I forgot to go over this, that antitrust laws are there to prevent monopolies from occurring and to promote competition. Okay. All right. Again, give people a minute. A per unit tax on pollution produced by a firm will affect the firm's output and pollution levels in which of the following ways? I'll give everyone a minute to think about it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, what do we have? Okay, looks like I'm getting some Ds. All right, if it's a per unit tax, I'm gonna get my marginal social cost here. All right, since it's the tax, I'm gonna go from the market to the optimal, which is a decrease in output. If I'm making less of whatever the pollution is, I'm going to have less pollution. All right, so it is D as in dogwood. And again, on a negative externality, just remember it goes market optimal. Okay. And we go MPC to MSC on a leftward shift. Okay. Pollution abatement policies will improve efficiency if the, give you again a minute.
What are abatement policies?
Abatement means reduction or elimination of pollution. Okay, 1, 2, 3, what do we have here? Okay, started off with the B. Looks like I'm getting all Bs. I'm getting B. Right, if the marginal cost of abatement is less than the marginal benefit, all right, we'll continue to do. Now, and so B as in broccoli is correct. You're going to continue to increase whatever policies, long as the cost is below the benefit. If an industry ignores external cost it generates in production, which of the following will be true at the competitive market equilibrium? Again, I'll give you a minute to think of it. Let me get that out of your way. Okay, if an industry ignore which of the following will be true? 1, 2, 3, what do we have for this one? Looks like I got some B's and I got some E's. Starting to get more B's than E's. All right. If an industry ignores the external costs it generates in its production, which of the following? All right. So here, if it ignores, we're going to be at the market, which is right here. It's a negative externality. I know that because it's talking about external cost. All right. So at the market, which is here, the price will be, there's the price. It is less than the marginal social cost. So B is correct. Now, at the market, we're here, a couple of people had E. Marginal private cost at the market is at the equilibrium, but marginal social cost is above it, okay? And that's why the answer is B as in broccoli. With these, I think it's really important to draw your graph and just look at it, okay? Because I think that will help you get the questions right. And again, my guess is, as soon as you open up as soon as you get your test packet tomorrow, if you look through it, you will probably find both a positive graph and a negative graph already there for you. And you could flip to those for questions like this to check your answers. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. Next up, which of the following is the best example of a negative externality? I'll give you again like 45 seconds, then we'll type in the answer. It says question 59. Holy cow. Usually the last 10 questions are supposed to be the hardest. I'm not saying this is an easy question, but I wouldn't consider it one of the 10 most hardest questions on an exam. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What do we have? Someone's starting us with D. All I'm seeing is D's. And D it is. Okay. An oil leakage from drilling platforms, because the oil leakage affecting the water, pollution, and all that would be the third party. All right. I know we definitely had this in class, but half of the inhabitants of an island oppose building a new bridge to the mainland, since they say it will destroy the island's quaint atmosphere. The economic concept that's most relevant to this decision, I'll give you a quick 30 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What do we have? Okay, we're knocking out A for externalities. I'm also going to say to you in both the externalities, the negative on the producer and the positive on the consumer, which is the ones I'm holding you responsible for tomorrow. Before you're done tonight, graph both of them. Put the external benefits, the external cost, the deadweight loss, everything you could think of on those graphs, and then look at like a perfect graph that maybe you have in your notes, so you can make sure you know how to graph them. All right, that's all right. All right, I'll just go over a private good. Just to remind you, is like goods that you buy in the store. They're excludable because you're buying them, and they're rival, meaning if Braden takes a bite out of my cone or licks the cone, it's probably going to diminish my enjoyment of that cone. A natural monopoly or a club good is excludable and non-rival. Think BG&E, think cable TV. Right now, the power could be on in your house, and that is not affecting the enjoyment I'm having of the power on in my house. So that would be the natural monopoly. A public good, which is the one they seem to test the most, is non-excludable and non-rival. And they love national defense, non-excludable and non-rival. And it's not excludable because even if you're not paying taxes, you get national defense, and it's non-rival because if the national defense is helping you, it doesn't hurt them from helping me, okay? And again, most public goods left on their own will underproduce because of the free rider, so if like, just let's say fireworks on July 4th, a lot of people could see fireworks for free. So the demand for fireworks decreases because you don't have to buy them because you could see them for free rider. Okay, and that ties into the free rider, which is a lot of times the cause of public goods because people are getting the benefit without paying, and that diminishes the demand for that good. Common resource, think like fishing in a pond, non-excludable, but rival. Because if you catch all the fish, then it's less fun for me. Any questions on those four that I just went over? Okay. All right, if a good that involves external costs is priced to take these into account, then it's market price. Oh, geez. I can't even see the end of the question. So if a good that involves external costs is priced to take these into account, then it's market price. Let's compare the cost, the internalized cost to the market. All right. So if a good that takes external cost is priced to take these in accounts, then its market price would, and then A would be fall and output would go up, or the market price would rise. All right. So I'll give you a minute to think about that. This thing stopped right. Okay. All right. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, getting a lot of E's. All right. So if you internalize the goods, that means your tax, the external cost tax, and that would be the external cost, would go in, and you'd go from A here, the market, to B here, the optimal. And what happens there? Price goes up from A to B, and output goes down. So E as in Ellen would be the answer that you had. And there's B, the optimal, and then A would be the market. Okay, good job on that for you guys. Seemed like pretty much everyone got that one right. Okay. Let's see, could I get this off the screen? All right, the organized exchange of licenses that enables the holder to pollute up to a specific amount during a given time period is called. Give you like 45 seconds. Okay, what do we have? 1, 2, 3. We got a C. I've got people are pounding out this E button now. Okay, it's called tradable emission permits. Okay, those are the tradable permits that say like you could pollute 100 pounds. Just a reminder that these Pigovian taxes or Pigovian subsidies, they're like taxes and subsidies. They're the same. Emission taxes, they're like taxes on pollution. Same as a regular tax. All right. If government officials set an emissions tax too high, all right, what do they mean by that? They mean if the external cost is $3 and they set a tax of $4, what will happen? Give you a minute to think of that. I should have just left this up here. Okay, this is price market, right? This is the market, quantity market. This is going to be price optimal. It's price optimal, market optimal. This is going to be my external cost. All right. 1, 2, 3. What do we have here? Seeing some C's. Not seeing a lot though. Okay. All right. Well, say this is a $3 external benefit. Now, if they tax it $4, you're going to come over here. So you're now, if you take this down, your quantity is going to be less than optimal. So, I mean, the answer would be there'll be too little pollution. And the reason for that is you're going past the optimal and now you're underproducing. And a lot of it is, you know, like A and C really work together. The only reason C might not be a good answer is because marginal social cost here will equal marginal social, but it'll be really that the cost of getting rid of the pollution exceeds the benefit. So, I mean, I would say A and C are both good answers here. There'll be too little pollution, and because the cost is greater than the benefit. Someone's asking, so why is B wrong? Because if Sebastian, if the tax is more than $3, you're going past the optimal. So like optimal would be the perfect amount of pollution. Now you're going to the left of it. So you're polluting less than optimal. Does that make sense to you, Sebastian? Okay. Again, like the more you could use your graphs, I think the more things like that help. I probably would have took A or C if that was a test question. Which of the following good best fits the characteristic of a private good? Give you like 35 seconds on this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What do we have? Everyone's banging out C here, which is good because that's the answer. I mean, police protection is a public good. It's non-excludable, even if you're paying or not paying taxes. And the police helping one person doesn't hurt them. Clean water, I would also call. I mean, all the others, I would say, are public goods besides the pizza. The shutdown rule is price is lower than AVC. An individual is more likely to free ride when the good is, all right, private is A, non-excludable is B, non-rival is C, artificially scarce is D, sold by profit maximum firms is E. Give people like 30 to 40 seconds. An individual is more likely to free ride when a good is. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What do we have? Okay, I've got some A. I got an A, B, and C. The non-excludable, it's B. Because if it's not excludable, that means you can't prevent me. So like fireworks, you might charge $5 for watching the fireworks that you're putting on, but you cannot prevent me from watching it. So it's easy to free ride. A private good is something in the store. You're not going to probably free ride that because, I mean, there's a price for it. And if you try to free ride it, it's easy for them to stop you and tell you have to pay because it is excludable. Non-rival, Spiro, because the fact that like cable TV is enjoyable to both me and you, it's hard to free ride because they could charge you and there's a way for them to prevent you from free riding. Like BG&E is non-rival, but still, if you don't pay your bill, they turn off your power. Spiro, did that make sense to you? Okay. All right, formula for income elasticity, percentage change of quantity demanded over percentage change of income. And if it's a positive number, what does that mean? Can anyone type in what it means if it's a positive number in income elasticity? What type of good is it? Okay, it's a normal good. Good job, Spiro. All right. We will not get this type of question on tomorrow's. All right. A public good is a good or service for which, give you a minute to look at this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's okay, Dimitri. You just started us off on a good note there. It is D. A public good is not exclusion is not possible. It's non-excludable and non-rival. I'm guessing there's like an exact type question like that tomorrow. All right. Public goods should be produced up to a point at which the marginal cost of production equals. Give everyone like a minute. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3. I've got a couple of D's, B. No one else? Another, looks like another B or two. It is the B. If the marginal cost of a street light is $5,000, you'll take that street light if the sum of the individual marginal benefits from all the citizens equal $5,000. All right. So that would be B as in broccoli. Two shifters of production possibilities curve. Anyone got one? One of the two shifters of the production possibilities curve. Technology is one. Anyone got the other? Technology is one. Quantity or quality of resources. Good. All right. Suppose the small town of Valley Falls estimates the marginal cost of providing one more treatment for mosquito control at 100,000. The town should provide the additional mosquito control only if, give you a minute. Okay, 1, 2, 3, what do we got? All right, we got Ellen, and that's true. All right, that's all I had as far as the organized part for tonight. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? You could turn on your mic, or you could just type anything in. The practice. Do you mean the practice test, Spiro? Yeah, okay, yeah, let me see, could I get that up? Okay, all right, before I do that, I'm gonna put a positive externality up here. Someone asked for it. All right, so this would be marginal social cost. This would be marginal private benefit. This would be the market, price market, quantity market. Then you would go marginal social benefit. And this would be price optimal and quantity optimal. If you took the market straight up, you'd have the external benefit. And it's hard for me to type or draw, so sorry if that's not the best picture of all time. All right, 34, and I mean, the negative is a supply. The CVS, and you should have that, like, we put that in your note in the notes today. It'd be supply shifting left. I wouldn't say it's a mirror opposite, the supply shift, but yeah. I third. Alessio's 34, that if an activity generates external cost, decision-making, okay. Decision makers generating the activity will be faced with its full cost, be faced with no cost, not be faced with its full cost. All right. Alicia, what was the answer to this? Okay. All right. So it's C, because what they're trying to say here is, all right, if it's unregulated, Alicia, then the tax is not on the market yet. So that's why E is not right. Because if an activity generates external cost, for it to decision makers generate would, if it's internalized, then the market is regulated. Okay, it's C because the decision makers, which is the government, are not faced with all the costs, like they're not faced with the cost, say, of making cigarettes, they're just faced with the external cost. Did you also want 36? All right, 36. It's just up a little. Oh, jeez. I'm having a hard time. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, according to the Coase theorem, when negative externalities are present, a market will always reach its solution. All right, so 36 is E, right? All right, so a transaction cost would be, say, me and you are trying to have an agreement and we have to have a lawyer. And that lawyer is cheap enough, so me and you, it doesn't get in the way of me and you compromising. Or me and you want to make an agreement, but we have to get a license. And so the license would be cheap enough. So that's what a transaction cost would be. Are you good on that now? Okay. Anyone else wanting anything on the practice test? And I will be in school early in the morning if you're taking the practice test tonight and you want to go over it at 7:45 tomorrow. Any other questions? 44. All right. The government has decided to regulate a natural monopoly, so the firm produces the perfectly competitive level of output. Compared to an unregulated outcome, one negative consequences of this decision is that the firm will earn a high and unfair. No, the firm will be encouraged to reduce output. No, the government. Um, So, Alicio, when the government decides to regulate like a perfectly competitive market, remember, like in a perfect competition, it's supply and demand. What is supply and demand in a natural monopoly? Well, the supply curve is the MC, and the demand curve is, demand. Where MC crosses demand in a natural monopoly, which is what we would call socially optimal. At that point, the price is under the ATC, so they're losing money. So therefore, the government may need to subsidize the firm's economic losses, C as in Caroline. Does that make sense to you now? Okay. Any other questions? $45?